Good morning, champions. Let me ask you something. How much of your life have you spent trying to control everything? The job, the reputation, the perfect image. But let's get real. That's not control. That's fear in a fancy suit. The ego whispers, if I can control everything, I'll be safe. But life doesn't work that way. Control is an illusion. The tighter you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. Real power, it comes when you surrender the need to control and start trusting yourself. It's time to shatter the illusion. It's time to live. Let me ask you something. How much of your life have you spent trying to control everything? The job, the reputation, the perfect image, but let's get real. That's not control. That's fear in a fancy suit. You grip so tightly to the outcome, thinking if you just work harder, push more, strategize better, then everything will fall into place. But deep down, you know the truth. Life doesn't work that way. The more you try to control, the more life resists you. It's like holding sand in your fist. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. Your ego loves control. It tells you that if you orchestrate everything just right, you'll never fail, never be embarrassed, never feel pain. It convinces you that certainty is the goal. But let me tell you, certainty is a prison. It keeps you small, stuck in patterns that no longer serve you. It keeps you afraid of risk, afraid of change, afraid of truly living. Think about the most incredible moments of your life. Were they planned to perfection, or did they happen in the spaces where you let go, where you surrendered? Maybe it was when you took a leap of faith, when you finally said yes to something that scared you, when you stopped overthinking and just went for it. Those are the moments when life rushes in, when everything aligns, not because you controlled it, but because you allowed it. So here's the challenge. Let go. Let go of needing to know exactly how things will unfold. Let go of the need to impress, to prove, to be in charge of everything. The paradox is that when you release control, you gain real power, the power to adapt, to flow, to trust yourself no matter what. Life is not meant to be conquered, it's meant to be experienced. When you surrender the illusion of control, you don't become weak, you become free. And in that freedom, you step into a version of yourself that is fearless, unstoppable, and truly alive. Your greatest enemy isn't out there. It's not the competition, the economy, or the people who doubt you. It's the voice inside your head that says, what will they think? That voice that makes you hesitate before you speak your truth, that second guesses your choices, that keeps you trapped in a loop of comparison, self-doubt, and fear. That voice is your ego, and it's a master manipulator. It feeds on insecurity, thrives on external validation, and keeps you chasing approval like a hamster on a wheel. The ego is fragile. It constantly seeks reassurance, needing to be right, needing to be admired, needing to feel superior. But here's the problem. It's never enough. No amount of applause, success, or recognition will ever satisfy it, because the ego's job is to keep you wanting more, to keep you focused on proving instead of being. And as long as you're stuck in that cycle, you'll never truly feel free. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, not your worth, not your intelligence, not your greatness. The moment you stop chasing external validation, you take back your power, because real confidence doesn't come from being liked, from being admired, from being seen as the best. It comes from knowing deep in your soul that you are enough without any of it. Imagine living your life free from that need to impress. Free from the fear of judgment, free from the exhausting game of trying to be somebody in the eyes of others. Imagine the energy you'd reclaim, the boldness you'd feel, the risks you'd take. That's where your true self exists, not in the masks you wear, but in the raw, unfiltered, unapologetic version of you. And that version of you, that's the person who creates impact, who inspires, who lives with fire. The ego will always try to pull you back, whispering that you need to be more, do more, prove more. But every time it does, remind yourself, I am already whole, I am already powerful, I am already enough. The moment you silence that voice, you don't just step into confidence, you step into freedom. And that's where your true power begins. Let's flip the script on what real strength looks like. People think strength is about dominance, about winning, about being the smartest person in the room. But real power isn't found in proving yourself. It's found in humility. Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking beyond yourself. It's about understanding that growth never happens in a space of arrogance. The moment you believe you have all the answers is the moment you stop evolving. The ego will tell you, I already know. It will resist feedback, reject criticism, and convince you that admitting weakness is the same as being weak. But the opposite is true. The strongest people in the world, the ones who create real impact, are the ones who stay open. They don't cling to the need to be right. They chase the need to be better. They don't fear being wrong. They fear staying the same. Think about it. Who do you trust more? The leader who pretends to know everything, who dismisses new ideas, who refuses to listen, or the leader who is willing to learn, who surrounds himself with people smarter than them, who embraces discomfort because they know that's where growth lives? Humility is not about lowering yourself. It's about raising your capacity to lead, to influence, to create something bigger than yourself. And let's get real. Humility is not always comfortable. It means admitting when you don't have the answer. It means being willing to unlearn old beliefs, to step outside your comfort zone, to fail publicly and still show up the next day. But that's the trade-off for greatness. You can either protect your ego or you can evolve. You can either be right or you can grow, but you can't have both. So here's the challenge. Ask more questions than you give answers. Seek mentors instead of trying to be the smartest person in the room. Be the kind of person who listens, who learns, who is constantly upgrading. The world doesn't need more people who already know. It needs people willing to discover. And when you shift from proving to learning, from defending to growing, you unlock a level of success and fulfillment that no amount of ego could ever give you. The person you pretend to be is exhausting you. The image you carefully curate, the mask you wear to impress, to fit in, to be accepted, it's draining your energy, your passion, your joy. And for what? To meet expectations that aren't even your own? Correct. To be liked by people who don't even know the real you? You want real freedom? Drop the act. Let go of the need to be perfect, to be admired, to be someone you think the world wants you to be. The truth is, people don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. They don't trust the person who seems flawless. They trust the person who is real. And the second you start showing up as your true self, everything shifts. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop proving and start living. But let's be honest. Dropping the mask is scary. It means allowing yourself to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be imperfect. It means risking judgment, rejection, failure. But the alternative? Living a life that isn't yours. Waking up every day, trying to maintain an image instead of experiencing true connection, true purpose, true joy. The moment you stop hiding, you unlock a level of confidence and peace that no amount of external validation can give you. Because real power isn't found in being accepted, it's found in being unapologetically you. What happens when you finally let go, when you stop letting ego drive your decisions and start embracing life fully? You begin to see the world differently. You stop viewing people as competition and start seeing them as allies. You stop fearing failure and start using it as fuel. You stop asking, how do I win? And start asking, how do I serve? Because at the end of the day, life isn't about status, titles, or proving you're the best. It's about impact. It's about contribution. It's about waking up every day with a fire inside you, knowing you're living for something bigger than yourself. The people who live the most extraordinary lives aren't the ones obsessed with their image. They're the ones obsessed with making a difference. Imagine what your life would feel like if you dropped the weight of ego completely. if you stop chasing approval, if you stop defining success by external measures, if you stop fearing what people might think, imagine living with absolute freedom, knowing that no matter what happens, you're playing full out, giving your all and leaving nothing on the table. That's where true fulfillment lives, not in control, not in perfection, not in validation, but in fully embracing the gift of being alive. And when you do that, you don't just succeed, you soar. At the end of the day, this is what it all comes down to, letting go of who you think you need to be so you can step into who you really are. Shattering the ego isn't about losing power, it's about reclaiming it. It's about realizing that control is an illusion, that the voice of doubt is a liar, that humility is strength, and that authenticity is the key to true freedom.